What up, world? This your boy T times 6. Y'all already know it's TEETYME and the number 6. You know why I'm here. I'm here, if you don't know, to discuss my month 5 and month 6 classes that I take with Full Sail online. But I'm going to back up a little bit. First, I want to say, how about them Cowboys? Because we just beat the Saints ass, baby. We ain't beat the ass, but we beat them. So if you're a Saints fan, and you're watching this right now, how about them Cowboys? That's all I'm gonna say. But make sure you go to Full Sail though. Full Sail to teach you, you know, how to record and watch the Saints lose to the Cowboys every year or whenever they play us. You know, make sure you go to Full Sail because this is a good school. I'm online. Digital cinematography is my major. Is what I'm going to school for. I graduate September 2020. I just started in May of this year, 2018. So I'm just giving y'all a little tour of my journey as I take my journey, and I hope y'all stick with me and follow me and see the great things that I produce under 2020 vision. So art history, let's get to it. Art history. It's what it sounds like. Art history. It's so much reading. I'm talking about like so much reading. I had to say that 3 times. I probably need to say it again because it's so much reading. That's all this class is. Now, if you like art history, you know, then it's gonna be your class. So just to give you a quick rundown. Every Tuesday you got the live meetings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Most of this stuff they do is on Eastern time. I think everything they do is on Eastern time. They're about an hour each, and they are very helpful. You don't have to attend the go-to meetings, but they do help if you do attend them. Now, week 1, I had to read 5 chapters. Told you it was so much reading. But I had to read 5 chapters. Also, in week 1, you got to do a discussion board about life after art. Now, life after art is basically what it sounds like. It's like, you know, the Egyptians buried their people in tombs. So that's life after art. Because after they died, they buried them in tombs, but they painted the tombs. It was glorious. It was lovely. So stuff like that. You got to do a discussion board on that. Now, discussion board, y'all already know what discussion board is if you watch my other videos. If you didn't, go check them out. But discussion board is as if you walk up to the chalkboard, to the dry erase board, write your response or your question or whatever it is, and other students come up and do the same thing. Discussion board. So on this discussion board, like I said, you gotta do life after art. That's due on Wednesday. Now the assignments is due at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Not 12, because 12 o'clock you're late. 11:59, you're right on time. So doing this discussion board, actually I was talking to Miss Mislan. She gave me some feedback about what I chose. And reading her feedback gave me insight on how I want to carry out my burial plans. Now, I don't want to be buried in a box and dug up on the ground and kept there, because I feel like I'm a very positive, energetic person, and even when I'm gone, I'm still gonna have a positive energy. So I want to be, I ain't gonna tell you what I want to be. I might at another time. But anyway, that's not what I want, so don't waste your money on that, family. Okay, so doing this assignment gave me an idea of what I want to do with my afterlife. But I'm living life right now. I'm trying to live my best life, 2020 vision. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going back and forth with you. I might go back and forth if you comment. Leave a comment down below. We'll go back and forth. You got to do a peer reply by Sunday at 11:59, not 12 because you're late. But 11:59, right on time. And then you end the week 1 with an open book test. Simple as that. Good, easy, week 1. All right, so week 2, you're gonna start off with a little reading. Then after you read, you're gonna do a little bit more reading. Of course, you got your live discussion on Tuesday. I already told you that. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. You gotta read after the discussion. All right, so this week's discussion is about commission art. Commission art is just You know, hey, you artist, I need you to paint so and so. I pay you. That's commission art. Do a discussion on that. Do a Wednesday. Peer review reply. Do Sunday. 11:59. Also on week 2, you also gonna end it with the open book test. Easy peasy. Art class is great. If you're gonna be late, let Miss Audra know, and she'll look out for you. All right, so we're gonna go into week 3 now. Week 3 is when it starts to get a little, interesting, I guess. So week 3 start off with doing the Google Art Gallery. Now the Google Art Gallery is pretty simple. You can do it on your own. I never did know you can do it, but it's just real simple. If you got a Google account, you can do it. If you don't got a Google account, you're gonna make you a Google account and do this. But you just go, and I ain't gonna tell you what to do because you might do it. It's gonna be a Google Art Gallery. You gotta make one. But you ain't really making one this week. You just creating a theme for it. Once you create the theme, you submit it to the teacher. The teacher should let you know yay, nay, and run with it if it's good. And that's it as far as the Google Art Gallery goes. Live session Tuesday. You know what time? Discussion Wednesday. It's due 11:59. Peer reply due by Sunday 11:59. And then that's it. Week 3 kind of easy. Then you go on to week 4 or 4, but I prefer 4. So you go on to week 4. Now you got your live session Tuesday 7:30. Of course, in week 4, an art history week ain't an art history week if you don't read, and do some more read. Not the weed, but the read. Okay, so all right, so back to that Google Art Gallery that I told you about. Week 4, you're gonna have to put that together actually. So whatever your theme was that you submitted to the instructor and she approved it, now you gotta take and put that together. Now putting that together means whatever your theme is, you gotta take that and get about 10 to 15 pictures if I remember correctly. So 10 to 15 pictures and put it together for your theme and submit that. And really that's it. It's easy. It's a little harder than you think it might be, but it's easy. So this is actually just a discussion board. So this discussion board is due by Wednesday at 11:59. You're right on time. 12 o'clock, you're late. Also at 11:59 with that Google Art Gallery, you gotta submit a worksheet about the Google Art Gallery. The worksheet will say stuff like, why did you pick this? Who are you as a filmmaker, as an artist? Stuff like that. Easy, simple, and there's a certain amount of words that has to be written or typed. That's a discussion board, so you still got a peer review reply due by Sunday at 11:59. Also, due by Sunday is an open book test from weeks 3 and weeks 4. Or like I say, week 4. All right, so that's the end of our history. Now, if you fucked up, if you missed some stuff, she got extra credit for your dog. No, for real, it's extra credit in the class. So I don't really remember what the extra credit is. I ain't write it down. The 6th class number 6, month number 6 in digital cinematography, because that's my program. It's visual storytelling 1. Now, in visual storytelling 1, my instructor was Alejandro Ginzo or Ginzo, or some shit like that. Now I was before the class even started, like that Saturday, class don't start till Monday, but like that Saturday, he sent us like an email or some kind of message or an announcement, that's what it is, saying, about film festivals, short film festivals that you can enroll your stuff in if you have a film. I ain't have no film. I don't have a film. Not yet. I'm working on one. Y'all gonna see it coming soon. DGWM. But anyway, so I don't have a short film yet, so I didn't submit one. But this actually motivated me, like, okay, I'm ready for this class. Yes, baby, this class, motherfucker, sending me short film information. Let's get it. It's gonna be interesting. So that was cool. So then week 1 started. Well, first I'm gonna tell you like this same like other class. You got your go-to trainers and all that. Now, only the go-to trainers are actually on every Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Now I'm like, how is the go-to trainer on every Thursday at 8:15 when assignments are due on Wednesday? And we're gonna talk about what we gotta do during the week. Now, granted, it's self-explanatory. You know, it explains itself if you think about it. If you read it, it explains itself. But fuck all that. We gotta go to talk about this shit. Let's go to talk about it. But before we gotta submit it, please. But anyway, so that was that. Now the first go to, I try to it gives you instructions on how to sign up. So I try to follow his instructions on how to sign up for the go to. It wasn't open, like it's locked. The link you got to click on was locked. You understand what I'm saying once you get going in the class, because you're gonna go to the school and you're gonna pass, and you're gonna graduate, and we gonna link up and make some shit together and make some money. Just watch. Anyway, the go to was for shit. The first go to, it wasn't open. I had to email him and he finally opened it. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the first person to email him. The second go to we didn't have because he thought he recorded it or something. He sent us an announcement or a message that said he thought he recorded it. Something happened with his computer, so it didn't send to the students. So he just sent us a link to the previous month's go to. Third go to, I was at work. I worked 12 to 9. I forgot. It really didn't seem that important anyway because he wasn't stressing it. So I didn't go to the third go to. That fourth go to, we didn't have a fourth go to. We actually had to, we didn't have to, but they gave us the option to attend a training. Not a training, but like, it was like a go to training, but it was for how to work with pyro. That was really actually interesting. So I appreciate Alejandro for that link. How to work with pyro and guns and fight scenes and stuff like that. It was good information. Full Sail, I recently uploaded that to that student portal, so check that out. All right, so let's get into week one and we'll make this fast. So you got the weekly readings, just like any other class, you got to read. The weekly readings actually on this was a lot, but it was very informative. Now, when I say a lot, I mean a lot over time, over the weeks of time. Not like the art history class where you had to read a lot every week. But this is a lot, but it's very informative, especially for your major. If your major digital cinematography. Now, I don't know if any other majors will take this class, but for digital cinematographers and videographers and filmers, then you really want to read this information because it really tells you. It's some good insight on some real stuff. Like, I have common sense towards a lot of stuff, and I feel like it comes together to just common sense. Like, use light, record this, don't show this, blah, blah, blah. But this kind of breaks it down on the inside of who does what in each role. Producer, director, mainly the producer and the director, the distinct differences between them two, because you can be a producer and a director, or you can be a producer or a director. You know, so it's depends on what the project, but there's a lot of work for each job. In week one, also, like the previous class, every class got a discussion board. So this discussion board also was due on Wednesdays at, you know what time, 11:59. You know, this discussion board is about your favorite movie. You have to create a log line about your favorite movie. Now you're gonna learn what a log line is in the previous classes, months 1 through 4. One of them classes I forget, but I made a video about it. Go check it out. Classes 1 through 4, and hit the subscribe button too. You got a discussion board due Wednesday about the log line of your favorite movie. Log line, the quick summary is basically 2 sentences about your movie, 2 detailed sentences about the movie, and then that's the discussion board. You got to do a peer reply by Sunday, 11:59. Also in week one, you got to do a mentorship activity. Now the mentorship activity is about Full Sail's mentor program, student mentor program, where they got students that's currently in school and taking in classes, which is like probably about to graduate. They like helping students out like myself with questions and just mentorship shit. I really don't know what they do because they make sure they take it. They're not financial aid. They make sure they don't influence you, but rather give you information when you can't find information other places. That's what I look at it as. All right, so once you go to the website, you got to find a website, and it's a worksheet that you got to do saying, hey, okay, I know where to find the mentorship program. I know how to enroll for a mentor. I know how to find the best mentor for me in my program to match to that, what they're doing, stuff like that. Last thing before is you got to do a mood board. All right, so the mood board is basically who you are as a filmmaker. It has to be submitted in 16 by 9 format. Like I said, it's previous to the other assignment, but it's more general. You don't have to choose from a specific library of pictures. You can go worldwide web and get your pictures. Just make sure you cite them the right way. They really, really big on citing. Citing your sources. Every class gonna say that. So that's the mood board. You also got to do a worksheet about it, answering general questions. Week 2, you got your go-to training. Like I said, we didn't have to go-to training. We had to watch the rerun go-to training. Now watch some of the rerun go-to training. You know how you watch reruns. When you watch a rerun, you just watch the parts that you think you like and just skip through the rest. That's what I did. And I did okay in week 2, I think, maybe. Of course, you got to read. I told you what you got to read about. Everything I said you got to read about, previously is all the weeks all together. Because sometimes when you read it, they say read chapter 2 scripting. And really, that's all it means is read the section that says scripting. So go to chapter 2, find a little small section that says scripting, and read this paragraph to whatever the paragraph is that ends on the next page. But you don't have to necessarily read the whole chapter. Eventually you will, because it'll be in other weeks, but not right now because it don't say do it, so don't do it. You also got to do a project called the 5 stages of production. Now this is development and research, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution and exhibition. Now it's really as simple as it sounds. If you just break them down, each step is what it seems. But like I say, when you read these books, they break them down in depth. They break them down, and tell you what each stage does. Like in pre-production, it tells you in pre-production. The main thing I remember from pre-production off the top of my head is they stressed pre-scripting. And I call it pre-scripting, but just writing down your ideas and then write them down again and then clean them up and write them down again, because whatever you finalize on your ideas is what's going to end up on that film. So you want to make sure your ideas is great. You want to script right. If you got a song in your head, write that song down, test it out before you put it to action, stuff like that. So you got to do a slideshow on that. Now you got to do a slideshow. I say the slideshow is about 33 to 35 slides all together, because 25 of those slides got to be the 5 stages of production, and the other slides got to be introduction slides and conclusion slides, and them slides don't count towards the total count. So really, your total count is 25 to 30. That's what the assignment says, 25 to 30. But in actuality, you got to do about 30 to 33, 34, something like that, because you got to count the other slides. The other assignment is actually in week 2. It's visual storytelling. Now, visual storytelling, you got to watch about 6 short films. Now, of these 6 short films, you got to pick one and write 200 words about it. Now, the 200 words that you're going to write about is filmmaking elements, not about the film itself. I watched the movie, a lady had lunch. She thought the dude stole her lunch. No, that's not what you want to do. You want to write about the elements, such as I watched the movie and the camera angles, caught my attention when the train passed by, because it kind of shook the camera and signaled the center that this is going to be a shaky scene or something like that, or whatever, elements, not the movie itself. But that's visual storytelling, 200 words about that, and that's that. That's actually the discussion board. That's due Wednesday. You gotta do a reply discussion board due by Sunday, but instead of one person you gotta reply to, you gotta reply to 2 people, by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Week 3. So of course, you're gonna start week 3 off with some readings. Now, what you're gonna read in week 3 is about the production team, who do what, and the production team and what everybody's roles is. So the first assignment in week 3 is gonna be your critical story analysis. Now, the critical story analysis is you're gonna take those same 6 short films that you watched before. You can watch them again. You don't have to, but they're actually pretty good. I watched them all like twice, at least 2-3 times, some of them 4. But anyway, with this assignment, after you take the films, you're gonna reevaluate them. But this time, you're gonna evaluate them in a different way. You gotta identify the protagonists. You gotta identify the antagonists. You gotta identify the hook in this film, and then you gotta identify the conclusion. Now, the protagonist is the main character. Antagonist is the main character's foe. The hook is the hook. Why is you watching this in the first damn place? And then the conclusion is what happened at the end. So it's just like that. Do that assignment, turn it in, discussion board, Wednesday night, 11:59. It's right on time. Reply to 2 people, Sunday, 11:59. Week 3, you also have to cap it off with a Hall of Fame response paper. Now, the Hall of Fame response paper is a paper where you gotta watch this film. Well, not even a film. It's like a advisory panel with 3 people, and they just come up and they answer questions that this lady asked them about how they came up and what's their ideas on filmmaking. One of them is the person that made Blair Witch. I think that was Robin Cowie. You got a man on there named Troy Duvall and somebody on there named Jeff Unai. Now, Troy Duvall and Jeff Unai they are both Hall of Fame, but Hall of Fame of what or from what, I'm not sure. If it's Full Sail or Hall of Fame of directing or producing in something else. But this is called the Hall of Fame response paper because you got a couple of Hall of Fame people answering questions for a student by the audience. Watch it. It's about an hour long. It's interesting the second time you watch it. The first time you watch it, you're like, why the fuck am I watching? That's how I was. I was like, why am I watching this? And then I stopped it and I started over and I actually paid attention to what they were saying. So that got me and that grabbed me in and I kept watching it. I actually had to watch it like 2 or 3 times. I watched something that I watched the hour interview and I made it a 3-hour interview because we had to write a report on it, a 500-word report. Not to mention 500 words on how the video made you feel as a creative person, producer, filmmaker, whatever it is that you want to do. How did the video make you feel? How does it pertain to your career at Full Sail and your life after Full Sail? Write in APA format. Cite your sources. That's how you end week 3, baby. Week 3, baby. All right, so week 4, you're going to read. You're going to start off with reading. What you read this week is you're going to reread some of the scripts stuff that you read in week 2. And then you're going to read about pre-production because pre-production is extremely important. That's the birth. If you don't shape it up at the birth, it might turn out to be the worst. So week 4 is actually pretty easy. It's simple, but you got to put effort into it. So week 4, you actually, after you read, you do your, everything is due Sunday to end week 4. So you got the vision of the future. Now, the vision of the future is basically your vision of your future. It asks you questions like, what did you learn in this course? What do you look forward to in the program? What are your goals after this program? Well, now, when they say program, they mean your major. They mean, your major. So stuff like that, vision of the future. And then that's due Sunday. It is 200 words minimum. No max on that. So that's that on that. Then also week 4, you got to do your, they call it a treatment assignment. Now, a treatment is kind of like saying pre-production. Once again, they stress in pre-production. So I'm listening to that. I'm thinking about that pre-production. So whenever I'm coming up with something, I make sure that I come up with it to my best of my ability before I even put any kind of equipment to use to make it. Got to be good on paper. Great on paper. Amazing. amazing on paper. So also you got to do this treatment. Now the treatment is the story to your script, basically. That's what I understood it as. So that's what I had to do. So you had to write a story. So the treatment is about you and why you are here right now as a filmmaker and how you got here. You got to write that 250 words minimum, 500 maximum. And you basically, at the end of the day, you got to write a short story. You can't use first person, I, me. I went and sat on the couch and watched TV. You got to use third person, he, she, it, we, they. As Thomas sits on the couch and watches television, he notices that the Dallas Cowboys line up in I formation. They're going to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott to run straight down the Saints' throat. Touchdown, he yells. Touchdown, Cowboys. He jumps up and down in excitement. That's third person, y'all. This is what you got to do. So you got to write that story about at one point in your life where you come from to how you get right here in this class, wanting to be a producer, filmmaker, a creative person to make money in a professional environment. So that's the treatment. You got to turn that in by Sunday. There's a lot of reviews out there by Full Sail University saying you should not go to the school. Go to the school. Get it for yourself. I mean, ain't nobody gonna tell you what you can do unless you try to do it. People can tell you what you can't do all day, but you don't know you can't do it until you try to do it and fail. And if you fail, I don't think you should stop. I think you should learn from what you failed at and do it again. But anyway, it's a good school, man. They send you all the equipment you need to do a job, any job, the job that you work at now, the job that you want to have. To do that job, all a person needed was equipment and knowledge. And once you get that equipment and knowledge, you spread that word and you spread it strong, and you got you a business. You are that business. Full Sail gives you the equipment, they give you the knowledge, but you got to tap into that knowledge. You can't expect them to hand feed you that knowledge on a silver spoon, on a gold spoon. You got to get it. You got to go in and read. You got to get it for yourself. But that's it for these two classes, y'all. I appreciate your time. This your boy T Time 6, 2020 Vision. We coming soon, baby. Y'all look out for us. Look out for me. You know, right now it's just me. I'm building a crew. I'm building a team. Come be on the team. Check out my poetry and my other stuff. Go check it out.